Welcome, everyone, to an NABC chat. I'm Andy Katz. Please be joined by Brad Underwood, head coach of Illinois and the chair of the Coaches versus Cancer Council. Brad, you've done unbelievable work in this area during your time in Illinois and before. What does this week mean to you, the Suits and Sneakers Week?
Well, it's a week that we bring a ton of publicity to a dreaded disease and let everybody know that it's out there, that there's a group of people, coaches, using their platforms to bring a bunch of attention to one, raising money, helping find a cure, but also let's try to prevent it. Let's go get screened. I got my screening this summer. Let's not be afraid to go do that. It's bringing attention to it in a number of ways. It impacts everybody, and couldn't be more proud to head a group of coaches that nationwide is so involved in the fight against cancer.
And you've done unbelievable work in fundraising, golf events. During your tenure, how have you seen this kind of event or this cause galvanize communities, bring people together for a common goal?
Well, it's no different than when you go to an event or you go to a game and you recognize all the cancer survivors and you start to hear their stories and the complications that they go through, just maybe getting to a doctor's appointment, let alone what the actual treatments are and the processes, and then to see them whip cancer and beat it. And then they're at a basketball game and they're cheering, or they're at your event and the tears, the stories, that's what this is about. This isn't about a win or a loss. This is about life or death. And it's something much greater than what we make it out to be. So it's very rewarding. It's impacted everybody. You know people, you've worked with people, you got family people, whoever it is, and that's everyone in the country. And it's just time to put an end to it. But these events also just bring a lot of happy moments for people.
So this may be a hard segue, but coaches do a great job with this. They come together. You're also on the NABC board of directors. There's a lot of issues swirling around right now with player eligibility, portal, NIL, rev share. How can you get coaches on the same page on some of those issues, also with the membership and conference commissioners, et cetera, the way, fighting cancer can bring everyone together?
Yeah, and I think it's a great point. It's a great question. I think we all have to understand that we're all competitive. We all want to play by the same rules. Cancer has no rules either right now. Our game doesn't. And yet the one thing that we can do is just keep bringing attention to it. We need to make sure it doesn't enter into our own lives as coaches. I challenge all the coaches, go get screened. Have your families do that. It's we can't be afraid of the answer. And we have to know that maybe if we detect it early, that we prevent something much worse. And it's just camaraderie. That's the beauty of Coaches versus Cancer. The events bring a lot of people together, and it's a lot of fun. I hope we get back to that, and if we've lost that in coaching, we can solve a lot of problems. But it's a great cause for something much bigger than a win or a loss in a ball game.
So on the NABC at this point, what are you hoping in the short term, maybe this spring and the next season, that you as a group of coaches can get done?
Well, I hope our voices just become one that it's heard. I think we're on the ground floor, we're boots on the ground. We know what we're dealing with. I think we're all tired of the moving goalpost and how things have keep changing. And it's leadership, it's The game is the best it's ever been. NIL has helped the game. And I think we just have to make sure that we don't lose the integrity of the game and the relationships, and we understand what's truly important. We had an incredible weekend last weekend with some of these young freshmen having huge ball games. That should be celebrated. That should be talked about. And instead, we've spent too much time talking about a guy who maybe didn't make it in the NBA instead of celebrating an 18-year-old who's just done wonderful things. And I hope we get to some understanding of what that looks like, and never forget why we truly get into coaching, and that's to help young people grow and get an education. And we'll get it figured out. But the game's never been better, Andy.
So last thing on this, then what should be, what do you think would be an eligibility rule that can, sort of placate everyone, if you will, just so where you say you have 5 years, after graduation, if you sign a contract, if you actually played, then go in the pros, what would be sort of the baseline that you think could appease everybody?
Andy, I've thought a lot about that, and I don't know because the thing that's challenging for me is sometimes we don't need compliance, sometimes we need legal, and because I don't know what holds up in the court of law, and so some of the stuff that we've been talking about broke laws and some of our old rules, and so to me, I'm not smart enough to figure that out. I'm not an attorney. I do think the one thing that can help is when we start school, whenever it is, and you have your 15-person roster, and that's your roster for the year. And that's where we're at. And you don't add anybody, you don't do any of that. But somebody much smarter than myself is going to have to come up with the legal pieces of what that looks like. How we get to that, I don't know. But we do need leadership, and we do need parameters to live by.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.